So I'm making an omelet. I'm making a veggie chicken omelet, and this is great for any time of the day, really. We don't need to get into the habit of thinking that eggs are just for breakfast and so forth. So this is great for any time of the day, and it's very tasty, very healthy. So what I've started with here is a little bit of coconut oil, and coconut oil, just to explain a little bit, and again, I encourage you to do your own research, but people have always shied away from it because it has saturated fat. But now research is showing that saturated fat isn't necessarily a bad thing, and coconut oil is an awesome thing to cook with. It's very, very healthy, and the nice thing about it is that it stands up to high heats. So things like olive oil that are healthy for you, when you heat them up too much, they turn rancid just like the trans fatty oils do. So what I've started with is a little bit of coconut oil and some chopped peppers and some chopped onions. So I'm just sauteing those a little bit. And what I'm doing today is taking a shortcut. So what I want to show you too is that you have the ability to take shortcuts. Not everything has to be slaved over a hot stove. So instead of boiling or poaching chicken, today I'm using this organic canned chicken. And again, you'll just want to read your labels, but the ingredients in here are organic white chicken meat, water, and salt. So, and it's sea salt. So there's really nothing terrible in here. Ideally, you'd want to cook it from scratch. You could use leftover chicken, that would be an awesome thing to do. But today I'm just using this canned organic chicken. So make sure it's the organic variety though, because that way you're not getting the hormones, antibiotics, and all that other nasty stuff. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of chicken. You can certainly do it without the chicken. This just gives it a little bit extra protein. So I'm just going to heat that chicken up a little bit. And then I've got my eggs here. These eggs actually came from a local farm, and you'll be surprised if you start looking around how many things you can actually find out there. So some people just have chickens roaming their yard and are more than happy to give away the extra eggs that they have because they can't eat them all. So just ask around. You'll be surprised. So I just have a couple of eggs here. I'm not going to stir them up too much, and what you'll find with me is I'm not fancy about my cooking. I don't care what it looks like really, as long as it tastes good. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of salt and pepper, and I put it directly right into the eggs before I cook it. So these are sauteing up nicely. So all I'm going to do now is pour the eggs in. I'm going to spread these out. And spread it out a little bit. I also have some chopped spinach here, some fresh baby spinach that I chopped up, so I'm going to just throw that on there. It cooks really fast, so you don't need to saute that first. So I'm just going to let this set up a little bit. And again, I am not fancy at all about the way that I cook. I really don't spend a lot of time in the kitchen. People are surprised by that as well. Pretty much everything I make, even a full course dinner, is under 30 minutes. Really don't spend a lot of time in the kitchen because most of what I'm making is simple ingredients. It doesn't take a lot of time to prepare. If I'm making vegetables or something like that, I really just steam them and maybe season them with a little bit of herbs or spices or butter or something like that. But it's really simple. So as you simplify your cooking, you'll find that you're not in the kitchen the same amount of time as making it, you know, all these crazy fancy recipes. And people will argue that, yeah, it's quicker to rip open a box and stick it in the microwave. But really, you're not saving that much time, and what you're saving your health is far outweighs that. So anything that you rip open from a box is probably not a good thing. And I have my microwave right down here, and I can honestly tell you that I don't think I've used it in over a year. I really don't even touch the thing. And they're really not good for you. So again, I just let it set up all the way, and then I flip it, and if I don't get the whole thing, that's fine. You can see it's not pretty. And you could cook it as much as you like. The less you cook it, the better. You don't want a really crispy omelet, and you lose some of the health benefits as well. So, move this out of the way. And you'll see when I put it on the plate that it doesn't look like the fancy omelets that you get in the restaurants. And certainly when you're going to restaurants, what you have to be careful of is they'll sometimes sneak in those egg substitutes on you, which make it look nice and fluffy and yellow. But those egg substitutes are not the real thing, and definitely not something I would want to be eating. So when you're out eating and you order an omelet, make sure you ask about that, because There's been a couple times where I've asked and they've said, oh yeah, we use egg beaters or whatever it may be. So, okay. So you can see how nice that looks. It almost looks like a Florentine omelet, but you've got your peppers, your onions, your chicken, and your spinach. And a little bit of salt and pepper, and you are good to go. I wanted to show you that spinach in there. So again, you can fold it over if you want to. Enjoy!